Ladies and gentlemen, be prepared. Be prepared. I tell you, be prepared for the show that is gonna explain to you some things you could not even possibly comprehend. Now you know me. I like to put on a show. Today I'm talking out of the side of my mouth like the Cebu infection. But I do have an entire regiment of rules and regulations put on this sheet of paper here, right here. I do have a whole entire regiment of rules and regulations in order to start a US dollar account in the Philippines. Welcome, Princess Ann Newton. Welcome to the machine. Thanks for stopping by. Now, if I were to tell you that you're going to have to do 200 things in order to start a US dollar account in the Philippines, it would be an underestimate, okay? And if I were to tell you, Popeye 1, welcome to the machine. I am going to explain how to start a US bank account. Nico's experience. Hello, brother. I have to admit, your channel is building up quite a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see a war veteran, an injured warrior, Nico's experience, his channel is about various topics, and he's really starting to build up subscribers, and I seriously suggest that you go to Nico's experience and see a different point of view about various topics in life from a gentleman who has given all. So Popeye needs no. So that's my suggestion about Nico's experience. Popeye has no need for introduction because already the infection in Cebu explained everything there was to know about Popeye the other day. It was hilarious. I was watching the infection speak in terms of nonsense. Oh my God, that he makes this stuff up as he goes along. It's like like when he said I had necrophiliac infection on my foot. He just makes this stuff up as he goes along. Nico, you are much welcome. I see that you are trying very hard to build up a channel, and you're doing a great job. I have not seen anything on your channel that I didn't enjoy, and I've only watched about 5 of your videos, but I enjoy every one of them. Digressing back to Popeye before we go to this bank, you know what? Talking to segue into the banking experience, to listen to the infection of Cebu talk about Popeye the other day. It was the most horrendous dissertation on a man, another man who served his country and is living a normal lifestyle. It was the most horrendous put down of a man I have ever heard. There was nothing to justify how the infection of Cebu talked about Popeye 1. There was zero proof about the accusations. There was no proof whatsoever as to Popeye's past. Nothing. There was just the guy with the infection was just making it up as if the pus inside the infection was just boiling over from one part of his brain to another, and each piece of information he gave out about Popeye was more disconcerting than the previous piece. I mean, he basically took the great Dave Phelps and his position, the infection of Cebu's position on the great Dave Phelps, and then he multiplied it by 10 and projected it onto Popeye's persona. It was amazing. I was sitting there dumbfounded. No doubt he took that down, but I was sitting there dumbfounded. I hope that you got a chance to record that, and because it was just, I never heard anybody put anybody down to the degree that the infection of Cebu put down Popeye. with zero proof. He went even above the great Dave Phelps put downs. So Anthony Truster, the hotel progress. We're making progress. We just have some little things to do, and then we're going to get started again. You won't be able to stay here anytime soon, but we are making progress. Thank you for asking. There was some issues with paperwork. I think they're going to be resolved by Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we're going to move on to the next level of creation. Okay, Bobsy. Bobsy, welcome to the machine, Bobsy. Welcome to the machine, Anthony Trusler. Maybe you wonder why I say welcome to the machine. I'll tell you. If you look up the definition of the word machine, you will find a very interesting definition. It is, indeed. Okay, so I should have put that up at the beginning, but I just put it up now. Bob CLO, that describes the infection of Cebu, the skid mark. He took it to the next level. It was like Wilbur Wright turning the propeller of a plane in 1903 in Ohio. I mean, South Carolina or North Carolina, and then going to that new jetpack that you stand on and you go 100 miles an hour on a human jetpack for $250,000. It was like that was the next level. It was off the chain. The infection is spreading throughout his brain. You're welcome, Anthony. So let's talk about this. Okay, so let's talk about the reason I put this mask on today is because they should wear a mask. Heidi Strauss-Cobb, Frank is after Dave, the stock boy after Popeye. This day is filled with treasure. Oh, God. Heidi, welcome to the machine. You can call him whatever you want. I'm going to start calling him an infection because inside his head, the infection is spreading. Like, I don't know. What is that one where you, it spreads? Okay, just the one that he said I had on my foot, the necrophiliac infection on my foot, that it was spread. It was never that, but we're not going to talk about the infection. It's all gone in my foot. It's all cleared up. Let's clear that up right now. Honey, I'll show you my foot this way. This is just one of the multiple lies that frankly speaking, was a lie. Frankly speaking, nothing that the infection said about the infection on my foot or the wound on my foot was true. Okay, so here we are. You can see that the scar tissue is clearing up. I'll just give it to you briefly. The reason my wound did not heal for 7 months was because of the medicine that the doctor said to put on my foot, the flamicerium, was killing the pain, and it was keeping it from getting further infected, but it was also burning the tissue. It was like putting acid on the tissue. The acid would kill the infection, but the acid would also not let the wound heal up. So thank you for, somebody asked me last live stream, I saw the comment and I missed it. That's why I mentioned that. So let's talk about starting a US dollar bank account in the Philippines. That's why you need this mask. And it would also be very helpful. Well, I don't have any of that stuff. But if you had if you had the large, I guess they sell different size tubes of KY jelly. I would suggest you run right out and get a large tube of maybe a tub. Maybe they sell a 500-gram tub of KY jelly. Before you go into any bank, they're all the same. I went to 3 banks in one day. They're all the same. And instead of just, inserting a small amount of KY jelly, I suggest you get like a basting brush and slather it up really good on your on your back door, okay? Because you're going to need this before you're done at the bank. So I went into the Union Bank in Tagbilaran, and I said to them, three banks, the BPI Bank, the Union Bank, and what was the name of that one?
RCBC.
What?
RCBC.
And the RCBC, which I decided on to do the paperwork. Okay, so bust out the KY, get a basting brush and slather up your back door really good, because you're going to need it. So the first thing, Brown American, Roberto the Brown American, welcome to the machine, Roberto. And those of you who are fishermen, I suggest you go to Roberto's channel. He's got an excellent channel where he shows you a beautiful fishing boat, center console, bass boat, and a nice car. And he makes an all-around great video. And he shows you fish that he catches. He doesn't just fish, he catches. There's a big difference. And welcome, Dennis Adam. Foot looks great. It does. It feels great. It's funny looking at my foot today, because I haven't really looked at it in 4 or 5 days. The last time it had a white tissue on it, which was scar tissue, and now it's all healed up. Thank you for noticing, and welcome to the machine, Dennis. Okay, so let me talk about this bank account then. First thing that you need to understand is the requirements before you sit down at the counter. When you sit down at the counter, they ask you if you have the requirements to start it, because it's not so easy. So let's talk about the requirements that are necessary. And they do it in an ass backwards method, because everything that has to do with banking in the Philippines and starting a bank account in the Philippines is ass backwards and upside down. So 10 days ago, the reason I wanted to start a dollar account, and the reason I have to start a dollar account, is because I have some funds coming from America, and I'm tired of paying $5 or 250 pesos for an ATM machine withdrawal each time. So 10 days ago, I went to the BPI Bank at the mall, at the ICM mall, and I took a number, and I went downstairs and I did my shopping, and for groceries. Now, let me tell you, it was 2.5 hours. I came back up, I went to the bookstore and bought some magic markers. Then I went across the street when I realized it was going to be a lot longer. I went across the street to the vegetable market. I bought gulay. That's assortment of vegetables. Gulay is vegetables in Visaya. Then I went and I talked to the man who collects the money for the jeepneys. He collects 10 pesos for each jeepney that goes by ICM once a day. He works for the city. He's a friend of mine. Then I talked to a couple of other guys that were there. Then I went and bought pan, because I forgot to buy pan bread. Bread is pan. I come back, 2.5 hours passes, and my number still isn't called. So I got really upset. I went to the window. I said, what the hell is going on here? Sir, you have to wait. So I said, no, I don't have to wait. Those people have to wait. And I stood up, and when I was talking to the manager, I said, turned around and looked at those people. Some of them were sitting there from the time I first took my ticket, 2.5 hours. I said to these people, your people are acting, they're treating you like cattle. They're treating you like cattle. You are sitting here for 2.5 hours, and the bank, they don't even provide you with a water cooler. And I went on to say, I was talking to somebody prior to that. I went on to say, in America, I'm standing up now talking to the gentleman that I was talking. In America, they give you coffee from the time you walk in the bank to the time you leave. 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, there's free coffee every day. But at 9 o'clock, they put out pastries. After the pastries are gone, they put out usually a couple of cherry pies or apple pies. In my bank in the Florida Keys, always put out pastries for whoever first 50 people come and get pastries. After that, it's cookies, and then there's dried cakes or cookies inside wrappers. Okay, and you have a choice of coffee, hot cocoa, or cold water, and a water dispenser. Here in the Philippines, nothing they give you at the BPI Bank. There is no water cooler. There's no coffee machine. There's never any coffee. When they have a special, they say they're going to provide free coffee. When they have a special day, like a bank special day, and then you can wait online for 6 hours to get something done. So that bank, out of the question. I closed my account in the BPI Bank because they made me wait 2.5 hours and then said, sir, you can just come back tomorrow. No, I'm just going to close this account. Give me my money, please. And by the time I got to the point where they had to give me my money, they said, sir, we cannot give you the money. I said, why? They said, because the computers went down. Ha! So the 2.5 hours, I could have closed my account. When I wanted to close my account, their computers go down at the BPI Bank every day, every week, on a weekly basis. On any given day, the computers are going to go down 4 or 5 times a week. That's the way it is here in the Philippines. So today is Saturday. Wednesday, I went into the bank to find a new bank. And I went to Union Bank in Tagbilaran. This is a joke. This is a nightmare setting up a dollar account. Plus, you need all kinds of, I'm going to give you the identification that you need. I'm going to give you the time frames. And then I'm going to tell you that after you put your money in the bank, you're not going to believe this. It's 60 days to wait for your money to clear. And then while it's clearing, it's froze in both the Philippines and in America. 60 days. Your money is frozen for. Okay, they say 30, but it's not 30. It's 60, and I'll explain why. So I sit down at the Union Bank, and the woman says to me, how can I said, I want to start a U.S. dollar account. She goes, do you have the requirements? I said, yes. I live here for 6 years. She goes on to ask me if I have a passport. And I said, yes, I just told you I have all the requirements. I know what they are. Can I see your passport? I said, why do you need to see my passport? I just told you I have it. Way too much shit, Bobsy. That's right. Way too much shit. Way too much shit. So I take out the passport and I show it to her. So I put it back in. I don't like to keep my passport out. I just don't like it. I lost my passport in America. It's a pain in the neck to get a passport again. But I misplaced it. So the second thing, she asked me if I have an ACR card. I said, yes. She goes, may I see it? I said, look, I just told you I have all the requirements. I have them in this pouch. I have the requirements. I don't need to take them out. I want to know if I can start one today, and I want to ask you questions about it, because I never got to ask BPI questions. I waited 2.5 hours and never got a question answered. So she said to me, you have to sit down. So link code. I said, no, I don't have to sit down. I have to ask you, how can I start a bank account, and how long is it going to take for the money to clear? She goes, I have to see your requirements first. I said, you can kiss my ass. Okay, I'm not giving you all these requirements. You're going to answer my questions before I spend 15 minutes taking all my identification out. You need to have identification where you live in the form of a globe bill, an electric bill, or a documented water bill, not the little piece of paper they give you. Number one. Number two, you have to have Philippines identification, 2 pieces, driver's license, or and an ACR card, or some other identification in the Philippines. Okay, and it has to be identification with your picture on it. Cannot be a credit card or a BPI. Well, a BPI bank card counts as something, but it has to have identification. Then you have to have a picture, but it has to be a 1x1 picture, not a 2x2 passport picture. So that means you have to get another picture. And I didn't have one of those. Then you need to have your passport. It has to be current. And so do the stamps in your passport book have to be current at the U.S. Immigration Office. So those are the requirements. Now you tell them, I said to the woman, I have all those things. She goes, sir, how long have you been in the country? So I said, six years. And she said, okay, you can sit down over there and wait a while. I said, well, how long is a while? She goes, I don't know. I said, well, no, I don't want to sit down and wait a while. I want to be serviced. And she goes, sir, you're going to have to wait a while. I said, no, I don't have to wait anyway. I'm going to go. So I just stood up and walked out. But this is what they think you're cattle here in the Philippines. They treat you like shit at the bank in the Philippines. You are at their beck and call, and I'm not at anybody's beck and call. Okay, so let's see. Ray Sink. Let's see. I'm sure that Okay, way too much shit. Bob Cielo, that was my decision. At the end of the day, that was my decision. Just pay the fees. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you how to do it anyway. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, so I said to the lady, I don't have to wait a while for nothing. I asked you how long, and this is all you do all day, and you don't know approximately how long I'm gonna have to wait. Maybe I'd like to come back. No, sir. Just wait a while. Like, I could come back, but she said, no, sir, just wait a while. It's like she's controlling me already from the time I walked in the door by showing her all this crap. And then she's telling me, wait a while. And then she's saying, no, sir, don't leave. Just wait a while. Nobody controls me like that. Nobody. People they made movies about would talk to me better and nicer and ask me to do things. Nobody told me to do anything. So moving on, I go to RCBC. Hello, Pinoy Ahoy. Welcome to the machine, and welcome Racing. I go to RCBC, and the lady there, she talks, and I said, I can't hear you. I said, ma'am, I can't hear you. I have a hearing impediment. So I said, are you serious? Are you really serious? You're going to talk to me like this? I can't hear you. I said I can't hear you. Please get somebody over here that can talk a little louder. I guess you just can't. She was a very low-speaking woman. Expat prepper. Yeah, she wanted me. Expat prepper. Nice video you put up. Expat prepper has some good videos. Posted a video about wild tomatoes, man. Those look pretty good. Thanks for posting that video link on my page. Thank you. Okay, so I go to RCBC. The lady can't talk. Okay, so the other lady comes over and she can talk. I said, you see, this is one thing that I'm going to tell you. If you worked for me and I told you 3 times I can't hear you, and you mumbled again 3, I'd fire you. Simple, I'd fire you. But you can't be fired in today's world unless you do something horrendous. So I would just send you back to school for public speaking. So we kind of got a giggle out of that. And then there was a guy in the background, his name was Solito. And he was looking intently at me. And I said to him, you want to come over here and help me? Because apparently these women, they have a little clutch here. That they think this is a joke, that I can't hear them, and that I have to ask somebody the same question to speak louder 3 times. And now they won't speak louder. And then the second lady, she asked me for my requirements. But I really wasn't clear on what she asked me because she wasn't mumbling, but I didn't hear her because I was so frustrated. So the Solito comes over and I says, can you talk English? He goes, yes. I says, can you pronounce your words and project your words so I can hear them? So Solito said, yes, sir. I said, well, let's go over into your office. I said, have a nice day to the ladies. And I went over into his office. I dismissed myself. I don't need to be dismissed. So I said to Solito, I have all the requirements. Don't ask me for the requirements. I know what they are. I have them. He said, okay. I said, okay. So I want to start a dollar account. How do I do this? He goes, how long have you been in the country? Now, one thing I'm going to tell you people before I finish this story, I'm going to tell you that you're going to be in the bank for 3 hours. I did the procedure. I have to do the procedure. There's so much money coming. I can't do withdrawals to do what I need to do. I could, but I'd have to go to the bank every day for a month. So I did the procedure. 3 hours in the bank, plus I didn't have enough. Well, I didn't have pesos in my pocket, so I had to go to my other bank and withdraw pesos to start a peso account. So the peso account and the dollar account in the RCBC bank, with going to the other bank to withdraw pesos, because you have to withdraw a certain amount of pesos. Wait till you hear the money requirements to start a U.S. dollar account. It's $500 you have to put in the bank. in dollars, not pesos, which means you have to go by dollars. So I set the peso account up. Now, I sit down with Solito. I give him my forms of identification, which were the contract lease, signed and notarized, original copy from my property here in the Philippines. That's a signed document by a lawyer, registrar, with a registration number on it and all that. I give them my Philippines driver's license. I give them my passport and my ACR card. I gave them my electric bill, and I gave them my Globe bill, and I gave him that. This was necessary. This is what they wanted. And he said to me, "Sir, do you have an American driver's license?" I said, "I just gave you Philippines. It's an international driver's license. I'm just asking." I said, "Well, stop asking me stuff that doesn't have anything to do with anything." So we sit down. Yeah, that's Bobsy. The people in the bank were they amazed me that they were like cattle. They were like cattle waiting to be slaughtered. I swear to you, and I'm not lying to you. So I give him the requirements. So I sit down. So I ask him, because I'm canceling my account in BPI because every time I go into the bank, it makes me wait 2 hours, which means I have to get a ticket, then go shopping, then come back. So he tells me to start a peso account. You need 5,000 pesos, which is reasonable. That has to stay in the bank. And if it doesn't stay in the bank, you pay a $13 penalty if it goes below 5,000 pesos, which is quite a bit now. $13 penalty each month if it goes below 5,000 pesos. This is for the peso account. He goes, "Let's set up the peso account first, and then we'll set up your dollar account." I said, "Okay," because I'm going to set up 2 accounts. So I got there at 9:25 in the morning. I left at 20 minutes after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so I give him all the bills that I needed to give him: the electric bill, the Globe bill, my identification, my proof of address, and I don't have the 5,000 pesos. So let me just fill out the forms and I'll go get the pesos because I need money to start the dollar account. Yes, sir. So I fill out the forms and he asks me, "How long have you been in the Philippines?" I said 6 years. He goes, "Good." He goes, "Because you can't start a bank account of any kind, not a peso account or a dollar account, cannot be done unless you live in the Philippines for 6 months. You cannot start an account unless you live in the Philippines for 6 months. No joke, cannot start an account." So that requirement I meet. So now I said to the man, "Let's fill out the paperwork for the dollar account." Ladies and gentlemen, wait till you hear that you're going to sign your name approximately somewhere between 90 and 110 times for the 2 accounts. Somewhere between 90 and 110 times, you're going to write your name, Michael Fazio, and then signature over printed name. So between printing and signing, you're going to write your name approximately 90 to 100 times. There's going to be 11 sheets of paper, full-size sheets this size, and there's going to be 6 cards about this size, half size, like 6 by 8. And on each 6 by 8 card, you sign your name, print your name, full name, as it appears on your passport. You print it and sign it here, and then you print it and sign it on the other side of the card. Then you turn the card over and you do it again on one side. I don't know why, but that's why. So there's 6 of these cards where you sign your name 9 times. So 6 times 9 is 54 times, but it's twice, really. So it's 54 times 2, that's 108 times. You sign your name on those cards, 108 times. But the rest of the documentation is about 90 times printed over, signature over printed. So altogether, you're signing your name approximately 200 times. But the one, I just separated the account, 108 and then another 90. Okay, why? I don't know why. I have no idea. And at no point can you leave the bank while you're doing the signature process. If you leave the bank, like you say, I have an appointment somewhere, you have to start the process over again. Because somebody has to visually watch you sign your name and put the information in you. You need your mother's maiden name and date of birth. It has to be spelled correctly because they check that. Okay? That somebody has to rubber stamp your signature. No rubber stamp. You can't rubber stamp. Thank you for Pinoy Ahoy. You have a great channel. Why wouldn't I like it? I like a lot of people's channel. I just don't comment on everybody's channel. It takes a lot of time away from. We've been working outside for 10, 11 hours a day. But you have a great big Kev. No, Kevin, your puppy. I think your puppy's playing. Looking for some free dog food in Cebu. Your puppy went to Cebu looking for free food, Kevin. Welcome to the machine. So now after you've signed these pieces of paper, okay, and now they photostat your passport, your ACR card, and your Philippines driver's license. After you signed all those other papers, then they photostat all your stuff. Then they bring back the photostated copies, and then you sign each photostat 3 times. So you have the passport, your driver's license, and your ACR card on 3 pieces of paper like this, and then you print your name and sign your name 3 times on the front and once on the back of each piece of paper. So that's 6 on the front and 2 on the back. That's 8 times 3. That's 24 written and signatures on the photostated copies only. Nico's experience, Bobsy said. Thank you, Jay. Now, your foot is doing better. I'm feeling well enough. Yes, I am. We have been working every day a little bit on. We cleared up the yard, and we have some paperwork to do with the contract that we have. We're renegotiating something, and then we go on from there. So thank you for asking, and welcome to the machine. So now you've signed your name, printed your name 200 times. So now I said to the fella, all right, what's next? Because I want to go. I got there at 9:25. It's about 10:45. He goes, now you have to give us the peso. So it took like an hour and 20 minutes to do that part. So now I have to leave and go get the pesos because all the documentation has been witnessed and stamped that I never left the building and came back. Why, I don't know, but you're not allowed to do that. I could have went to the bathroom in his bathroom, but I couldn't have went to the mall to do any shopping. So now I'm in the thing. I said, I go get my money. So I said, how much money do I need? He goes, 5,000 pesos for the peso account. And now I need 20 and then $150 service fee to start the peso account and the 5,000 peso minimum deposit. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll go get the money. And I said, how much for the dollar account? He goes, $500 US. I said, what do you mean US dollars? He goes, you have to give me $500 in dollar bills or singles or US dollars. Has to be US dollars. I said, what are you talking about? I just give it to you in pesos. No, sir. I said, where am I going to get $500 bills from? He goes, you'll have to go buy them from the teller. We sell them here. I said, so you reduce the amount of money you're going to give me for a US dollar bill. I have to buy dollars from you. Yes, sir. So he was offering 51.85. I had to pay 51.85. Meanwhile, last week, I sold bills for 51.9. So, because the dollar was high last week. Okay, so you can buy dollars, so you have to buy $500, but you got to get the pesos to go to the counter to buy the $500. So I said, okay, so how long do I have to leave this money in the account? He goes, well, you have to leave that in the account always. If it goes below, it's the same $13 they charge you if it goes below $500 in the account. It's a $13 penalty per month if your account goes below $500. So I said, okay, so let's say I go get the money, which I did. I had the money. Let's say I get the money, I give it to you, and now I'm going to write you out a United States check. Here's the check. And I give him the check. And he goes, how much is the check going to be for? I said, the first check will be for $6,500. And he goes, okay. And he looks at the check and he goes, this check doesn't have an address on it. I said, yeah, it has the addresses in the email. No, sir, it has to be printed. I says, all right, then I won't start the account. So he goes, let me check on this. So he goes to his supervisor, and after, I don't know, 10 or 12 minutes, he comes back. He says, the check is okay. They must have checked on the bank with the routing number and stuff. It's a good check. It's an American check. So he comes back and he tells me, sit down, and he tells me, you buy the $500, and then you give us the dollars, and then you give us the check after you start the account. I says, okay, I'll do that now. He goes, maybe you should come back on Thursday. I said, why Thursday? He never did answer why. I says, okay, I'll come back on Thursday. When do I put the money in? When do I buy the dollars? He goes, come back on Thursday. So now I'm there. It's 11:15, maybe 20 after 11, because I had to run across the street to get the money from the other bank. So he says, so we're going to fill out now we're going back to the peso account. But first I ask him, when I give you this check, how long for the check? I need the money to do something on a specific day in June, and it's a little over 1 month from today. I give you this check. Will I have the money in 1 month? He goes, no, sir, it'll be 30 days. I said, well, yeah, it's 32 days from now. So we can't guarantee 30 days. I said, well, what do you mean? How long will I have to wait for my money? He goes, maybe 45 days. I said, well, wait. You want me to put $500 bills in an account that I have to buy from you, from your bank, and you want me to wait 45 days once I give you the check? Yes, sir. Hello, Warren. Welcome to the machine. And the banks are the worst exchange, but that actually the money was high 2 days ago. So I said, so I have to wait 45 days. So today is the 15th. So I'll have to wait till the June 15th plus 15 days, June 30th. Not exactly. What do you mean not exactly? He just said 45 days. He said 45 days. Yes, sir. It's 45. It could be 30, but it could be 45 days. Yes, sir. But it's banking days. Holidays and weekends don't count. I said to him, are you fucking kidding me? Like that. Are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking kidding me? He said, no, sir. I said, you're telling me that I have to wait between 30 and 45 business days that your bank is open in the Philippines, excluding holidays and excluding weekends and excluding your election, because that was 4 days, everything was closed. And he said, yes, sir. So I said, so theoretically, I could give you a check on January 1st, and I won't get my money all of January, all of February. I could get it the first week of March if there's a lot of holidays involved. He said, yes, sir. I said, so if I give you this check for 325,000 pesos, you're going to freeze my account money in America, and I'm not going to be able to get it for theoretically 45 to 60 days, depending on how many. And this idiot, I shouldn't call him an idiot. He was very helpful. He told me the truth, at least. This man, so 45 days. Let's just go through this by the numbers. In 1 month, there's 4 or 5 weekends. So that's 10 days of weekends. It could be a house. So just say 10 days in 1 month. And then, so that's already 40 days. So theoretically 45 days. But if there was a big holiday Or like the election, that would be 4 more days off. Or Christmas and New Year's would be 4 to 7 days off. Okay, so you really have to wait. You're not going to get your money for 45 days. So I said, so my money's frozen in the bank and I can't withdraw it from my American account for 60 days. Yes, sir. I said, where is the money during this time? Do you get the money in your bank and you collecting interest? No, sir. It goes to a clearinghouse. So I said, so you're telling me I give you a check for 325,000 pesos, a dollar check, $6,500. You're telling me I give you this check and it stays frozen for 45 days. So somebody's collecting interest, but it's not you. You're telling me it's not in your bank. But when I spoke with the woman in the Union Bank, she told me the check would be transferred into the Union Bank in 1 week. But that was the last piece of information she gave me before I got stood up and walked out. Here, you're telling me it stays just frozen and it's in an American, and then in 1 day when the 45 days are up, the button is pushed and it goes into my account here. Yes, sir. I said, well, that doesn't work for me. Well, he didn't. Hello, Bill Long. He didn't ask for blood, did he? LOL. He asked for my, Bill, it's more, welcome to the machine, Bill. It's more than asking for blood. It's asking you to be completely controlled by some worthless system in the Philippines. Another worthless system. And when I say that, Globe went down and the banks were closed for 2 days last week. You couldn't deposit and you couldn't withdraw. I didn't try the ATM machine, but in the bank, you couldn't do anything. Globe went down. I couldn't get online for 2 days at my house here in Bohol because Globe was down. It's just another worthless system. Now, the paperwork involved with this was just phenomenal. So I explained to everybody, I got there at 9:25 in the morning, and now it's 12:25. Let's just say 12:25. It's Christmas, and all the paperwork is finished, except for me to get my peso account book, the book where you keep track, your record book. But all the signatures are done. Everything's done. So I says, okay, I'll go across the street to the BQ Mall. I have to do some shopping. I'll come back and get my book what? Should I come back in an hour? No, sir. I said, what do you mean, no, sir? How long is it going to take? I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? How long does it normally take? 1 hour. 1 hour from when? 1 hour from the time you signed the last piece of paper, which was 12:25. So I said, so it'll be done at 1:30. Yes, sir. So I said, well, I'll come back at 1:30. No, sir. And I said, well, I want to leave. I have other things. I don't want to sit in this chair for 1 hour. Yes, sir. You have to. I said, why do I have to? She goes, those are the rules. I'm going, those are your rules. I'm going to go shopping at the BQ Mall. So she goes, wait a while, sir. I hate when they say wait a while. She leaves and she comes back with backup. Okay. Now, Solito, he helped me for 1 hour at his desk. Without Solito, I would have never got this account done. But Solito is gone. He's my man, Solito. She comes back with, well, now I'm dealing with the mumbler. Right now I'm dealing with the mumbler, who she as long as I cup my ears like this and lean forward, and she tried very hard to speak, I could hear her. Okay. But she had to maintain that deep voice so I could hear her. So she comes back with the other original lady who was sitting next to her, and another lady who was in the back, one of the background people. And they hover over the desk, the mumbler and the other two, they hover over the desk right in my face. And they said, what's the problem? I said, the problem is I want to go shopping. And the lady was a very nice lady. She just was a mumbler. And she's telling me I can't go to the BQ and come back and get my book. No, sir, you cannot. I said, well, I have other things to do, and it's almost 1 o'clock now. But by the time we waited for the people to come, it's like 10 minutes to 1. And 12:25 is when I signed the last paper. She's going, it'll be an hour. Yes, sir. I said, well, I'll just come back at 1:30. No, sir. I said, well, what happens if I stand up right now and I walk across the street and go my shopping at BQ and go across the street and get aspirin because you gave me a headache? What happens if I do that? Sir, we will have to start the paperwork new on another day. I said, you're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. Are you kidding me? You're kidding me. I was like, I'm flabbergasted. I'm sitting there going, I have to start the paperwork again for my peso account if I don't wait for this book in this bank? Yes, sir. I said, okay, well, then I'm going to sit right here in this chair and you're not going to service anybody else until I get my book. She said, okay, sir, no problem. So with that, a guy comes in from outside with his mother. Hello, Flying Circus. You know, Flying Circus, I subscribed to you. You got a great channel. I gave you a thumbs up. All the comments this morning, I went to some of your stuff. Not enough about the infection in Cebu, to be honest, but maybe you took some of those down. I watched about 15 of your 15 minutes of your videos this morning because they're short videos, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. I watched a bunch of them. I enjoyed the hell out of them. You want to watch a good channel? Flying Circus is a good channel. So I said, so I'm back. Now I'm back at the lady is standing there telling me you can hold up all the other people in the bank, because now you got to understand I'm there at 9:25, right? When I left to get the pesos, I went right back into the to sit down at the teller. So people that were there at 9:30 were still waiting in their chairs. So a man walks in from outside and says with his mother they can't get money out of the machine for whatever reason. Their credit card is not working. So he his mother says, excuse me, sir. Very nice lady. Okay, may I talk to the teller? I says, you have an emergency? Here, take my chair. Sit down in my chair. So she goes, no, sir, I'll stand, but thank you. So they explain to the mumbler they can't get the money, and to the bank manager and to the lady that was helping the mumbler talk loud. I think she was like, jabbing it with like a pen or something so she could talk. Anyways, the mumblers, they would, I don't know, I guess they could hear better than me, but they were talking in their language and they understood. So the mumbler explained to them to go out and try to do something differently with the credit card, with the ATM card. So the mumbler tells them what to do and they go out. And now I'm sitting at the chair. Nobody else could go there because I allowed the emergency, but now I don't want to wait. I want to be served next. I'm there. It's after 1 o'clock now. It's 10 minutes after 1. And I want to go. And I said, well, as long as I have to sit here, I'm just going to sit here. Nobody's going to take my spot. So, hello, Uncle Sam. Welcome to the machine. Thank you for stopping by, Samuel. So the lady comes back in. She's distraught. They can't get money. She's got the woman and her son, apparently her son, Jadal. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jadal. And I will say in a minute, the lady is distraught. She can't get money. Her son is there, and apparently it was either her son or her daughter and the baby. And they're all standing there, and it's hot out. It's the middle of May here. It's May 17th, whatever day it was. Really, 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 really hot. So I give them my seat again, and they don't take the seat, they stand up. And the mumbler, she explained something else in Versailles to go outside. Now they got to go outside and use the machine. There's no machine in the bank. These people are sweating profusely. I'm going, do you have any water for this woman? Look at this woman. She has no, but there was a water cooler in the back in Solito's office. They got her water. Now it's 1:15. I said, I really have to go. Maybe I'll just won't start a bank account here. Maybe we'll just cancel. Yes, so that's your prerogative. So I'm trying to persuade them, but they don't care. They didn't care one bit if I stopped. If I left that bank, they were going to destroy that paperwork, and I would have to come back and start again. Now, I'm not stupid. I just spent 9:30, 9:25, 10:25, 11:25, 12:25, and now it's 1:15. 3.5 hours in the bank, minus 20 minutes to go to another bank to get pesos. 3.5 hours, and I'm not done yet. So I waited, and within a few minutes, I think it was like 11:20, the form was signed. But by that time, they hated me. They wanted me out of that bank as much as I did. I said, where is the paperwork done yet? Call up. Find out where the guy signing the thing in Manila is. Come on, find out where this thing is. So I get it. But I still have to go back on Thursday. For some unknown reason, no one could tell me why I couldn't start the dollar account the same day. No one could tell me why. I think it has to do with them checking like a background on me. Like what? How many Michael Fazios are there in the Philippines with my social security number and my date of birth? There's just me. I guarantee it. There's only one Michael Fazio with my social security number. There's only one Michael Fazio with my date of birth and my social security. So they tell me come back on Wednesday. I said, if I come back on Wednesday, is that a guarantee that I can start the dollar account? No, sir. But we should know by Wednesday. I said, so why don't you just tell me to call up? Well, you could do that too, sir. So instead of these people that run these, they don't give a flying crap about you. They don't care about you one bit. I was in that bank 10 minutes short of 4 hours to start a peso and a dollar account, and I didn't get the dollar account started. Now I have to go buy dollars either from the Indians. When I have to go to the other bank and get pesos out, because I didn't take all the pesos out. I only took the pesos out I needed to start the peso account, which was, I took out 10,000 pesos. I gave them 6. That left me 4,000 pesos to go shopping. So now I have to go to the other bank again and get pesos to buy dollars, $500, after I go to the RCBC bank to find out if I can finish my dollar account. And when I finish it, I put the $500 in the account, and then, oh, wait, it gets better. I forgot to tell you. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Oh, you have to pay to put a check in the bank. You have to give them $35. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to sing to you anyway. Everybody gets a thank you song. I just wanted to finish my stream of thought. You have to pay them $35 after you start your dollar account. And after it starts and you give them the check, you pay them. They take $35 out from the money that you give them the check from. So if, let's just say you started a dollar account, you put your 500, has to be 500 US dollars, which means just another way for them to slip it in. That's why you need that tube of KY jelly before you go into the bank, to slather up the back door really good, because they're sending it in for 3.5 hours. They're sending it in. Everybody got a schlong. Everybody got a schlong there. Everybody. Not except Solito. He was the only, well, he was a man. He treated me like a man. No bullshit. So I said, so if I give you this check for $6,500, which I'm not going to give them, you're going to take $35 out from the account, from the check when it clears. Yes, sir. I said, so every check I give you, you take $35 away from the money from the check. Yes, sir. I said, what's that for? That's a transfer fee. I'm going, you're already making money on the interest on the $500. You're already making money on the interest in the bank. And you're charging me $35 because it transfers. It's an electronic transfer. It's not, nobody's pushing paper anymore. There's no pencil erasers. There's no ink that you have to buy. $35 a check. So with this, Solito, I see Solito. I said, damn, is she serious? I got to give her $35. Yes, sir. I says, he goes, but it only for 6 months. I'm going 6 months. What? So for the first 6 months that you have a dollar account in the Philippines, besides giving them the check and besides waiting 45 to 60 days for your money to clear, you have to pay them $35 for each check you deposit. Now, it doesn't matter if the check is for $35, then you lose the $35. But if the check is for $35,000, you still pay $35. And those are the rules to start a U.S. dollar account in the Philippines. I'm sorry, but those are the rules. And I don't see anything else. I don't see anything else. Those are my notes. So there you go. If you have any questions, ask them now about this U.S. dollar account while it's still fresh in my mind. And by the way, on Wednesday, I will call up Solito. I will not talk to the lady who mumbles. And although at the end of the day, we did get a laugh out of her. I talked to the manager about her. I told her, look, we have to send her back to school, Esqualahan, to get like public speaking 101. Everybody laughed, at the end of it. When I walked out, everybody was laughing, but they were laughing at me for sitting in that fucking chair for 3 hours and 45 minutes to start an account that's going to cost me $500 to start. That's who they were laughing at. They're laughing at you for being that fucking stupid to allow them to keep your money for 30 business days, which are 45 days to 60 days, depending on holidays. They are laughing at you that you're going to sit in the bank. All the people that were there at 9:30 were still waiting for me at 1:30 in the afternoon. They were waiting. They waited 4 hours for them to start my account. They waited like cattle. They waited like cattle going to the slaughterhouse. It was the most amazing thing. I kept looking at those people. I'm going, don't you people have anything else to do that you could do while you're waiting? Because this doesn't look like it's going to get time. They just sat there like good little people. Filipinos are very patient. I got to tell you, man, I wouldn't wait 4 hours. So if you're having a good evening, Scott, welcome to the machine. $35. That's crazy, right? Right, Blue Rose? Yeah. So let's just say that your money came in increments and you needed it right away. So say your money came in 3 increments of, I don't know, whatever it is, $30,000 a pop. So each time you give them a check for $30,000, each time you write a check, you have to have the checking account. Me, I have to have it. But each time I write them a check, when the money goes into my account in America, each check I write them from America, it costs $35. Yeah. So let me sing to J-Doll. We're gonna thank you very much, J-Doll. Salamat. J-Doll was very generous super chat, so I could go buy a cup of coffee. Salamat. Thank you. Honey, may I have some cold water, please? So let's see. Does anybody have any questions? So this was the RCBC Bank. I got there 9:25 in the morning. I suggest you get there at 10 minutes to 9. So you're first if you want to start a dollar account. I'll just go over the requirements quickly. You need to have proof of where you live. That proof is Warren. Salamat. Thank you, Warren. Thank you very much, Warren H. Thank you, Warren. I appreciate that. And all other super chats. So So let's just go over the requirements really quick. Okay, these are the requirements. To start a peso account, 5,000 peso minimum. You have to be in the country for 6 months before you can start a bank account. After you're in the country for 6 months, for your peso account, you fill out the forms. This, I forgot, I didn't talk to you about starting the peso account. You fill out the forms. In 3 to 5 weeks, your bank debit card will be ready, but figure a month. So you cannot use your account at all until, for your debit card, until you wait a month. Now, you can deposit money in your peso account and go to the physical teller and remove the money for before the month is up, once they start the paperwork. But for me, the first account in the country, I had to wait 30 days before I could withdraw or deposit. I could deposit, but before I could withdraw, I had to wait 30 days. I don't know why. Maybe that's changed, but this account, because it's a second bank account and they already identified me from the first bank account, I can deposit and withdraw without the card. If I go to the physical bank, that physical bank, and go to their tellers, I can't go to another branch of their bank until I get my card. So you need proof of location where you live, which is, of course, where do I live? I live in Bohol. So you need, okay, so you need an electric bill, a globe bill. That helps with your name on it. It has to have a bill, 2 bills with your name on it. Could be a water bill. It could be a bill for a delivery service. It could be anything, but it has to have 2 bills with your name and with your location. You need to have an ACR card that's current, and you need a passport that's current. And 5,000 peso minimum deposit. That's for your peso account. For your dollar account, you need all of that stuff, the passport, the proof of location, and 500 US dollar bills. You could be $100 bills, it could be $20 bills, but understand something about the Philippines. This is another way they stick it, slam. They don't even stick it in. They slam it to you. Welcome, Ruth and Tom, Philippines Adventure. Good morning. Now, they have a nice channel. They don't even curse on their channel. It's so nice. Nice as ice, their channels. They don't curse. They don't get upset. They don't put on hoodies. Yeah, baby. This is what you need. This is what the bank puts on when you go to start a dollar account. Tom and Ruth. It was Tom and Ruth. Now it's Ruth and Tom. I see. You changed it. The bank puts one of these on so you don't know. They're masquerading as people, but they're really thieves standing behind a desk. These banks in the Philippines, they leave a lot to be desired. Mercury. It was Tom and Ruth, I remember. There we go. Tom and Ruth, Philippines. I love that hat. Thank you. The Tom likes it. We'll wear it for a little while. It's pretty hot in here, actually, but because I don't have, honey. Okay, wait. All right, here we go. Honey, you want to straighten this mess out for me? I can't. There we go. Now I look like I work for the bank that I got my account set up at.
You're the big eyes.
Hold on. Did you say hello?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, baby. Now I officially work for a bank now in the Philippines. Okay. You wish to say hello to anybody special?
No, nothing. I have a good day.
Okay.
Beautiful life. Have a beautiful life.
Have a beautiful life from Daisy May. So, okay, what I was telling you how they slip it in. When you bring money from America, I went to the bank in America and I took out money. Let's just say I took out money because you're allowed to take a a certain amount of money into the Philippines in cash. When you bring the money to a money changer or a bank in the Philippines and exchange it for pesos, it can't even have the slightest nick in the paper. Nothing can it have. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. I'll show you what's not acceptable. Okay, see this piece of paper here? I'm going to just take this piece of paper right here, and I'm going to go like that. See that little nick in the paper? And how the bill, okay, just picture that on a $100 bill. They won't accept it. They won't accept it. Now, if you have crazy glue and you're really good with like modeling, you could put a touch of crazy glue on it and then make it a little dirty with the oil from your finger. But they will look at the corner of that bill. They will look at the edge of the bill. If it has a nick, a little nick like that in it, they will tell you they will not accept the bill. And if you put crazy glue on it and they feel it, because they go like this on all four edges. They go like this on all four edges. If it has the slightest nick, it could be a 64th of an inch, like where a rubber band maybe cut it just a little bit, they won't take the bill. So I went to the bank in America, and they gave me a bill where the corner was nicked, but it was off the paper. And I didn't look, because I had a pile of them fuckers, and I didn't look at every bill. And one of them had a nick, and they were serial numbered bills. Well, in the Philippines, if you bring dollars and it has any nick at all, dollar bills, they don't even want dollar bills. They give you like, let's just say that pesos are 50 pesos on a dollar, and you have $100 bills, crisp, brand new $100 bills. And the exchange rate is 50 pesos to a dollar. You got to go to a money changer or a bank. The money changer is going to give you maybe, well, thank you, Samuel. Thank you very much. Now, the money changer is going to offer you, I'm just throwing numbers at you. If the dollar value is 50 pesos, the money changer is going to offer you maybe 48.5, and they're going to make 1.5% on your money. Now that's not a bad rate, but if you deal with, if you got a good money changer, he's going to offer you any money changer is going to offer you 48. A good money changer is going to offer you 48.5. They're going to take two. They're going to try to get 2 points from you. Now, if you hustle with them, the maximum you're going to get is 48.9. So they're going to take 1.1%. Okay, that's a good rate. Okay, but when you buy the bills, you lose money again. So if I sold the bills for 48.9, and now I have to buy them at 50 pesos or 51 pesos. The bank makes a point for selling you the bills. Actually, it's 2 points. So, but if it has a nick on it, not worth anything. Now, I got $100 bill with a nick on the corner that somebody has to come, I have to give them the bill, and then they can go and exchange it in America, but no money changer and no bank in the Philippines will touch a US dollar bill, $5 bill, $10 bill, $20 bill, $50 bill, $100 bill. Nobody will take a piece of US currency with the slightest nick on it. Nothing. If they're old bills, they're worth less. If you have brand new, crisp $100 bills like I had from the bank, and they were serial numbered bills, they're worth 48.9 48 9.1. You could fight with them 40. You could fight with them for a tenth of a point if you really want to be an asshole about it. But if they're old bills, like 20-year-old bills, because I had those too. Those came from a very special place. And the guy says, I can't take these. These are from 1986. I said, yeah, what's wrong with those? He goes, well, they're from 1986. I said, yeah. And they're $100 bills. He goes, where did you get serial numbered bills from 1986? I said, well, I took them from the bank. Took them from the bank. So I just forgot about them. Actually, I actually forgot I had them. So he wouldn't give me 48.9. He wanted to give me 47.85. Another point he was taking off. Because the bill, now they were brand new bills. They were serial numbered bills from 1986. I told you I had a house in America. When I was cleaning out the house, I said to myself, I have something over there, but I don't know what it is. And I went and looked, found all kinds of weird shit. Anyway, I found bills from 1986, serial numbered bills from 1986. So they took off another 1.2 points for 1986 bills, even though they were crisp, brand new bills, serial numbered. They took off. So now, if they're old bills, they take off points. If they're dirty bills, if they're brand new bills, like 2 months old, but they're dirty, like they have grease or dirt or anything, they take off a point. If they're crinkled up, they're crinkled, like crinkled bills, like you crinkle them, or folded, they don't want them. They take off a half a point for crinkly bills. So if you had 1,000, let's just say you had $1,000 in bills, and you crinkle them all up, like when I have serial numbered bills, I crinkle them, I crush them into a ball, and I throw them on the table, and then I put them face to face and back to back so they don't stick to each other. So you don't make a mistake and give somebody two bills. You crinkle them up like that, cost you a point in the Philippines. A point at the money changer. It's a freaking, banking in the Philippines is a big business. Get out that tub of KY jelly, get out the basin brush, have somebody bend you over and slather up that back door proper, because when you're doing banking in the Philippines, they're sending it in deep and hard. Now, what do you want to talk about? Who has the topic that they want to talk about? I'm done talking about banks. Unless you have a question. You have a question, we'll answer your question. The head of a chicken. That orange band, my friend, that stops me from leaving my glasses on the table. It also stops me from, when I put them down on the table, it's more easy to find them. Oh boy, the camera fell. Look at that. Looks like an infection from Cebu. So does anybody have a topic? Because my banking dissertation on banking is, I'm done. Nice shirt. Mercury, I have not gotten, this is your shirt, Mercury, but I also have another, 22 more of these shirts. I'm actually wearing Mercury 3 shirt, which of course I will wash. This shirt is going to the hometown of Mercury 3. This is the front. This is the infection. And this is the back. And we all know why. It has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with telling the truth and the banking industry, because everybody, the lies, all right, we could go over the lies from the banking industry, which is why I wore the shirt today, because with vertical lips, they can lie better than than horizontal lips. Okay, so when you walk into the bank and they tell you they're going to keep your money for 30 days, 30 days. It's not, it's 30 banking days. 30 banking days, not 30 days. But they don't tell you that. So I had to say to the guy, Solito, and also to the woman, if I give you this money, when will I have my money? And they said in 30 days. 30. I says, you guarantee 30 days? 30 to 45 days. Those are 30 banking days. So if it's Christmas, and Christmas is on a Thursday, so it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 4 days that week. There's no banking. So you only get credit for 3 days that week and 3 days the following week. So you lose 8 days over Christmas vacation if you put a check in. It's 30 business days. Then you have weekends, they don't count. Holidays don't count. Election days don't count. So you could wait 60 days once you put the check in. All right, Scott Del Fuego was in the house. Welcome. He's been here for a while. That's right. They are. The banks, investments, and finance are today's money changers from the temple. That's exactly right. That's what Jesus, when he overturned the tables in the temple. These people are fucking criminals with suits, okay? And I even said to Solito, he actually told me the truth, but I had to pull the truth out of him too a little bit. I had to pull it out. You have to ask them 30 days. So in other words, will you sign a piece of paper that if I give you this money on the 10th of this, on the 15th of this month, I will have it on the 15th of next month? No, sir, it's 30 days. So I said, so I'll have it on the 16th. No, sir. Why not? Well, it's then they tell you it's 30 business days. Weekends, holidays, election days, none of that counts. So it could be 40. It's more like 45 days because there's usually 30 business days in 45 days. So 45 days is 6 times 7 is 42. So 6 weeks, 6 times weekends, 6 times 2 is 12, right? And you can figure on any given month, there's 2 more holidays. So that's 14 days. 14 plus 30 is 44. 45 days. Yeah, baby. Nah, see, this is what I could never get an answer to, Scott. That's a good question. Solito, yeah, they make money. Oh, okay. Now, somebody is making money on interest on that money. Somebody is doing it. But Solito swore to me that it wasn't his bank. Solito swore, I told him, no bakakun, he goes, dali bakakun. Means no lie, no lie. He swore that once I give the check to RCBC Bank, the process starts and the money is frozen immediately. The money is frozen. You can't take it out from the United States side. You can't take it out from the Philippine side. You can't change the transaction once the money is froze. He swore to me that it wasn't his bank collecting interest and that the money was still in my American account collecting interest, which means that the American